Benny! You know how Laverne and Shirley... Benny! Every time you... Come over here. Go lie down. Go get the bed. No, go get the bed. Bed's free. Take the bed. Good boy. Come on. You got the whole bed. Good boy. Tuck, you getting down? Going down, Tuck? Come on, Tuck. Come on, Tuck. Oh, yep. He just settled right in. Please, Benny. Here, Mom. Here's some strawberry. Oh, excuse me. I don't get that very often. I used to get that at the donut shop for you every now and again. Like, or chocolate milk.
Very soothing.
In Salem, Oregon. Mom, we've been all over.
We have.
We've been everywhere. Not the East Coast. I did go to New York City. Remember I called you? Yeah. And it was like 4:30 in the morning and you saw me on the Today Show?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that? That was kind of a standout event.
Yeah, that was.
I was like, "Ma, that was when cell phones, they were kind of I had a flip phone forever."
You had a what?
A flip phone where yeah. A lot of people still have them. It was the 10th of June, 2007.
Good memory.
Well, yeah, it was my 5-year sober anniversary that time. I had a do-over. I had a slip. And so I started over at year 14. Otherwise, I'd have 20 years.
You did good.
I let my will take over and run me. And I blew up my life and whoopee! That's all right. That's why I don't drink. I drank to remind myself why I don't drink. Take the good, leave the rest, man. I'm not going to beat myself up for it. That's what the rest of the world's for. I don't got to beat up myself for nothing, man. That's what everyone else is for. People love freaking ripping on people and stuff like that. Anyway, where's my light?
There's one over here.
It's over here. Oh, that's too bright. I got change of background. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hioka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I need to see my little thingy there. Oh, my eyes are dusty today. It was so cold this morning. When I was driving up the hill at like 9 something, 10 after 9, something like that. It said it was 14, but it felt like 15. I hate that shit. and I experienced a phenomenon that, because I live in a canyon, kind of. It's like it's the remnants of a canyon where the canyon opens up, kind of thing. Yeah, and so I come up out of the canyon, and I had a cup of coffee that I made here and took to go. And like when I exhaled, it was just steam. It was just steam. Yeah, because that's how cold it was, right? It was just steam. And when I breathed out my nose, it was just steam. And I was like, wow, this is a trip. I was trying to recall it because I've been in other places where it's been this cold. This isn't the coldest I've ever experienced. I think the coldest I've ever experienced was like negative 47 or something like. I think it was like negative 47. But it wasn't for a long extended period of time. But yeah, that's I don't like cold. It makes me just shut down and hurt, and everything hurts. And the older you get, whatever you do when you're young, it will hurt later. Scars, surgeries, yeah, surgery sites, incision sites get insensitive and to the touch, and so many people they're so quick to go under a knife, and oh my gosh, I haven't even gone under knives a lot, and I still, but your feet are real sensitive, and I can understand why, because I had one surgery on my ankle, and my incision site is so tender, and I hit it like with the freaking shopping carts, and so I hit it. It sucks. But so I can imagine what your feet feel like, because you had like 6 operations on each foot. Hello, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilk empath. I just like to have these little talks on the way I feel about things. Yep, we are in gratitude every day. Not one stinking day, the Thankstaking. See, you know what's happening? I'm going to keep focusing on this because it'll make me feel better. Of all the things I have to focus on that are right in front of my face, I'm gonna focus on a world. Oh, I didn't finish the story. I came up out of the canyon and I was breathing like a dragon. And as soon as just the orifices, because it was so cold, and then I got to a certain point. And I don't know how much the temperature changed, but it changed enough that it just was gone. The vapors were over. I was like, wow, that was kind of a trip. No, leave them alone. You get to lay in that one. My dogs are so spoiled. Now they're all old and bratty and getting moody. And they all hurt too. Anyway, God, good old dogs. Just lie down, sweet lady. Sweet lady. Everybody's settling and getting comfy. Hey, Tess, how are ya? How are ya? Yeah, arthritis. I have it in my feet so bad, bone spurs and stuff like that. Oh, see, that's the thing is Mom started out with bad feet. That's family history and lineage and DNA and all that stuff is such a magical, beautiful thing. Our story is kind of amazing. I mean, when I think of it, it's like I'm an Aries, born to a Sagittarius and an Aries. I mean, come on. But I'm mostly water. I never really had a chance. I've said that my whole life. I never had a chance. And it's amazing I didn't perish when I was a young child. It really is. I mean, Mom always said that there's a calling for my life. But there's a reason there's a reason why the freaking crackhead at the park and the drunks at the park live too. So, I mean, what is that? So what? I guess I better make my reason substantial. I'll get a bigger vocabulary than them. Speaking of, I got the dictionaries back. I love this. This is Grandma Gardner's dictionary. She was a neat lady. She was in kindergarten. She was like the lady that played, or first grade, Mrs. Brown's class. She played the piano. She'd give me lemon drops. She didn't give all the kids lemon drops.
She liked working with some people.
Yeah. And she was like in her 60s or 70s when I was in kindergarten, and then she like went on to work another 20 years. I don't know, maybe she was in her 60s. Another 20 years past that, and then she became mom was her neighbor. She lived up the road. She had this sweet old car. I got to look up and see what kind of car that was. It was an old teal. It was cherry, and she would just mob down the, such a classy lady. She just sailed. Whee!
She had fun doing it too.
So she retired, and somehow Mom ended up with her dictionary. I love this dictionary. I love words. I do. And I got Craptastic University, Bachelor of Science, Margaret A. Hessick, Bellevue University.
I'm glad you have those. These are nice. Very nice.
Bachelor of Science. Oh, and this is cool. This I'll bring close. This is all going to change because I'm going to get a bookshelf. But this is cool. This I got when I left the Air Force. Look, it's like it's just like high school. It's just like high school. Keep in touch. Anyway, so I'm going to do it like this so I can get a better shot of it. Okay. So this is all wooden engraved. Here, I need to... There, I'll turn up the light. This is all wooden engraved. And that says... Right there, it says age, aerospace ground equipment, the muscle behind the mission, age ranger. I'm an age ranger. Welcome to the new age from the age ranger. Marjo. I was in the 55th maintenance squadron. And it was like they call themselves the greatest maintenance squadron in the world. Man, if I had a swing... Hey, Benny! You scratching your ear? You okay? Sorry. Was he scratching his ear? You okay?
I think he just got startled about something.
Okay. Okay. So, that was the mission, RC-135s. And... Do they have the other one on there? U.S. Crapcom. Crapcom. How phallic is that? If that ain't no stupid ritual. Old Market. I took a lot of pictures down there. Because I worked at the land... It was in the Landmark building. The Gazebo Parade Fairgrounds. Oh, this one right here. This one right here. The E4B. That's your Doomsday plane. People are freaking knuckleheads, man. That's the Doomsday plane. They're lame. So anyway, we'd have to go run. That's where I did sit-ups, my PT test. It is recorded. 60 sit-ups in 60 seconds.
That's good, Marge.
Nobody else did it.
That's very good.
Wait. Girl. Maybe dudes. No, I don't know. I don't know. They always had me in the Chunky Chicken Club.
The Chunky Chicken Club?
Yeah. Because I've always been like more muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. But then I got heavy at times because I eat my feelings. Oh, yeah. It's a pet peeve of mine to spell my name like that. So if you're going to make somebody a placard, make sure it's spelled right. It's an E. I used to work at Chevy's Mexican restaurant. Every time I see this, I picture it like on a piece of paper where people wrote 2 times strawberry Marge. And every time I see Marge, that's what I think of. It says with this, that was my date range of service. That's when I was at Offutt. That wasn't my enlistment date. Those aren't my enlistment dates. That's just when I was at Offutt Air Force Base. For your significant contribution to COBOL and... That's kind of neat. I don't see a lot of YouTubers with shit like this. I found all my pictures, too, from Operation Iraqi bullshit when I was on the island of Crete. Hey, Cutzone. Yeah, I've done some shit. See, I just feel like I haven't. But I've been busy trying to get me and Mom to a safe place. And we're there. And you know what is kind of trippy? It's like we're kind of like evolving from a cocoon, so to speak. Because I trimmed Mom's hair. I took like about 6 inches off the bottom, you know. And then like we washed it today, and I used to color it. We just get a box of medium, and so every time she walks by a mirror, she like cringes. She's gonna be 72 Monday. She had a major brainstem stroke when she was 38, and we were talking about that tonight. She used to have a big old lump on the back of her head, and it's gone down substantially. It's still there. Not like it was. A man slammed her head in the car door of a 64 a Chevy Biscayne. They're very similar to the Impala. Good boy, Tuck. Good boy, baby. So, yeah, I know a lot about domestic violence and people that are out of their minds. And now it's running rampant, you know. It is. It's all right, Tuck.
With more people.
There's more and more people. There's like you can't even keep track of all the people he wants down. Come here, baby. Come here. Go this way. Come here. He's been up a while. Come here. Come on. Come over here. Come here. Come here. Good boy. Come here. You alright? We're just all getting old and squirrely, huh? So, I got Mom a belt today. And I found more of her clothes. And so, you feel good, Ma? You feel like, how do you feel? What does 72 feel like for you? What was it like when you were growing up and you were born in 1950? So what was it like? Were people like in New Mexico in 1950?
There were a lot of people that were very nice, and they were very thoughtful.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times, there were a lot of those people got in fights together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's still so there was a lot of drinking and carrying on. Or would you say or?
At the end of the day.
At the end, see, because it's still like that, and now down in Albuquerque and Santa Fe, people are.
It's starting.
Hey, Mom, could you get up a second? So I'm gonna have him jump down into your chair and then jump down from there. Come here, Chuck. Come on, bud. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on. Good boy. There we go. Good boy. Come on. Come on, Tuck. No, come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Come on.
Good boy, Tad.
Good boy.
Good boy. Just sit back there. Thanks.
Yeah, being an empath, it's rad. It's rad. You want to put your feet up, Ma? You got it, buddy?
Oh, this is chill.
Huh? What's the matter? Oh, here. Here, let me do this. Oh. Go ahead, sit down. Is that better? Is that better? There's the Afghan right behind you. Little old lady. So you feel good at 72? You feel healthy, Ma?
I am fortunate to be a healthy person.
You still have, you haven't lost any teeth. We brush our teeth every day.
We're fortunate to work on both of us.
You want me to get it down for you? Yep.
It's really warm, but I can't. It's
There you go. Have a seat. I'll put her on your shoulders. How's that?
Oh, that's again. There's one there for you, I think.
I'm not cold. She used to do that when I was a kid. I run so hot, and then she'd make me wear a coat. And then there was a period of time that I was a very insecure, and I would withdraw. I had a coat, and I wore it all the time. And I wouldn't take it off. It didn't matter how hot it was. It was like my security blanket. It's when I lived in Paso Robles and went to Flamson. That was
You went to what?
Flamson. It was a 6th grade school. That was the year I went to 4 schools and then didn't go to school for 7 weeks. We moved around so much.
Oh, Marge, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you did. You worked there in some capacity. So, and the school that I left was a very small school. It was Deer Creek.
Oh, dear Lord.
No, it was Rother. It was Rother. Was it Rother? Now I gotta go back and think. Well, yeah, I think it was Rother, and then but it was still a very small school.
Yeah.
Like 400 kids, 300 kids, you know. And then Flamson it was like a culture shock. Flamson had like it was like 1,200, and they had magazine sales, and and a big old huge auditorium. I mean, it was. I had to take showers in PE in the 6th grade, which I hated because I was a little gay girl, queer kid, whatever. I don't know. All the terminology is all contorted and bizarre now. But I was a little gay girl, and I didn't feel comfortable taking showers around other girls. It was so, and like they had a PE teacher that they had the kind that would stand there with the clipboard to make sure you walked in and rinsed off. It was just so obtruse. I just always see, that's why I hate any kind of institution that establishes themselves as authority that can do stuff over me, because the stuff that they do over me is fucking weird. And I don't like it. And I never got, and I would say it oftentimes. Well, I was 13, I got suspended for calling Mr. Smith the dirty old man. Mom didn't always agree with the things that I did. She always supported me in those circumstances, huh, Ma? So, and the guy made everybody uncomfortable. So, I mean, I've been speaking out, what? Because people have given me consequences even when they weren't even due to me. I'm the kind of person, I'm not, people just like to just freaking just see what they could, I don't know, not everybody gets treated bizarre, I mean, as shitty as I get treated, it's weird. It's weird. I don't understand it. Anyway, let's get past that. So I think about think about if the natives wouldn't have found the booze. If they wouldn't have succumbed to their own will, and Turtle Island grew in spirit instead of from ego, and we'd have like more native names instead of fucking Kit Carson bullshit park and all these freaking people walking around looking at people's zoo and shit like they got nothing better to do. It's a trip, man. People just see something in a freaking postcard and just like, we gotta go there. There's homeless people and people that fucking need socks and hot showers and laundry and dental care and stuff like that. And Benny! But go ahead and keep walking around looking at people's zoo. although on the other side of that coin, people would like to come visit. I'm a great tour guide, and there's a lot of really cool places around here where I live. So that's always a thing too. I ain't taking nobody to no people's zoo. My buddy, I'm taking up stone carving, and my buddy Augustine, he's a stone carver. I think he's been doing it. God, I gotta ask him again. I know we've had this conversation before. He's native. He lives on the Pueblo. He's funny how I come across, like, the only friend I had in Oregon it was Pam. She worked at the laundromat. And then, like, the only pal I got here is Augustine, friend Augustine, and he's the maintenance guy at the laundromat here. And then I know another kid. There's 2 laundromats here, and then I know 2 people that work one at each laundromat. How funny that is. It's like I have some karmic tie with laundromat employees. It's kind of funny. But so Augustine, we pal around, and he went with me to Tractor Supply, today, so I could get Mom a belt. How do you like your belt, Ma? Your new belt. You like it?
It has a good ceiling.
Yeah?
It's sturdy. It's
Yeah.
sturdy.
And so we went and did that, and he gave me my first stone. I'm going to start stone carving. I'm so excited. So here's like a before And I wish I would have, if I would have thought about it and been proactive. I think I know it's something albatross. So I already see what I'm going to do with it. I already see it. It's a soft stone. It's a porous stone. It's like, I don't know. It might be as heavy as concrete as far as texture. It's very chalky. It has a chalky, like when I put it down. It's chalky. These Band-Aids are great. They have Neosporin in them. Wow. I'm wowed by them. They're Band-Aid brand. Anyway, so it's gonna be an owl. I had a picture in my mind. I said the first thing I want to do either is a fish or an owl. Depends on the stone. And then I got this stone. I'm like, boom. I already see it. So now I just scroll through images and just like owls. So now when I go to sleep, I'm going to just think about owls, and then it's going to come out of that stone one day. Yeah. If I would have thought about it, I would have got sandpaper. You know? See, and that's the stuff I need to do, focus on. And that helps people get in the present moment. You know? That's why I dig watching cuts. I dig watching your videos. Because it helps me be in the, you know. I went snowboarding one time on Mount Shasta. And I broke my tailbone, my coccyx. And it cracked open my first chakra. That pain, like I was telling Mom earlier, I've been hurting my fingers a lot lately, and I was trying to think what rules hands and fingers. I think it's Gemini, and because I don't know what placements are going through it, but I've been really hurting my fingers, and it hurts all the way up in my armpits. Well, when I broke my tailbone, it hurt all the way. It freaking my spine. That was like a kundalini. That was freaking whoa. I couldn't sit like for like 6, 7, 8 months. It was months and months and months. Like I had to be real careful about how I sat. And I worked at a Mexican restaurant, and it sucked because those chairs were not comfortable, you know. But yeah, that was a lot of pain. So that was and it was on my first run, so I never ever even got to snowboard. It was, and the way the mountain is, I don't remember exactly how it was, but as soon as you come off the lift, it was ice. Just a sheet of ice, and then you came around the corner, and then there was more, like, I guess, snow that you could grip into, for, I don't know, layman's terms. But the damage was done, right off. I just came off the chair and just, I never snowboard, just went on a sheet of ice, and then broke my tailbone, and then tried to have, and then, you know, because my eyes were watering. I wasn't even really crying. My eyes were, it hurt so bad. I felt a lot of pain in life. I've hurt myself a lot in life. I've been hurt a lot in life, bit by a lot of, I experienced a lot of things that just fucking hurt. And it takes you places. It does. Pain does take you places. And then you get older, and then you start getting the emotional pain, and that takes you places too. And so I'm finding that in society these days, people are just taking places. And the places that they're going are very dark, and they're sinister, and they're taking a lot of people with them. And it's gross. You know, I think about all those people. Yeah, they're out there having a good time up in whatever, Colorado. A bunch of people got shot at a dance club. You know, go home, be with your family. Don't go out drink. You know what I mean? How much time do you know? But that's what people deserve, to unwind. Those places, and nothing good happens after 10, man, out there. Nothing. Nope. Nope. No, 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 no. Nothing good happens after 10 out there. You know? The world is not what it was. The world is not what it used to be. It's a much, much different place. It's a much darker, much sinister place, and people, frankly, aren't prepared for it. They're not. And it's so absurd to see the storyline that's been freaking just in our face, you know? I mean, like, I'm a veteran. I manage between my stipend and mom's little small social security contribution between, you know, I mean, hopefully one day I'll get a chance to go back, but everything, I can't go down 2 hours, drive 2 hours, hang out in a hospital all day, and then come home and leave mom. I can't do that, so that's on the back burner. Maybe one day it will, and then if I ever get to do that, I'll get more income. Until then, you know, we have been divinely provided for, Ma. We really have, you know it? Everything we need has been provided for. And we live in that gratitude every day. And it's just bothersome for people to act like they're so grateful, they're so thankful, get together. It's always about just getting together and eating. You know? That's all people have been doing the last 2 years is eating. But get together and eat some more? You know? We used to, at least, because I had so much energy, I had to go outside and play. So, but we always had, I guess I came from a family on dad's side, they like to play games a lot. So, like, we'd play those, I don't remember what they're called. It's like lawn golf, like croquet. No? Yeah? Maybe. Fun stuff. I even got lawn darts and, you know, I just always like having stuff to do. Fun, competitive things. Heck, you don't have that, get a deck of cards, put a hat out in the middle of the floor and so you can, you know, so you can get the most in the hat, right? It's just always, and then the world got dark and gross and everybody got power hungry. Oh my gosh, so much power hunger. So much power. People just have to be in control of things. I hate being in control of I wish people could control them. Like, I don't know. It's just in me. I know too much. I know how to do too many things. So when I see people do things, I just want to help them make their job easier. And I see it in every situation. Oh my goodness, I know too much. So, all in all. Oh, so yeah, Turtle Island, getting back to Thankstaking. I like that show, Reservations Dogs, though. That's cool. Takes place in Oklahoma. It makes me, I feel good when I watch it. Good girl, Luna. Luna. I just think about what the nation could have been if it wasn't taken over and all my ancestors weren't killed. Luna, get out of there. I see you, little sneak. And, you know, things were different. If we wouldn't have traded land and sovereignty and all that stuff for casinos, you know, but that's how history was supposed to go. I just think about how if it would have gone the other way. And maybe that's how it was supposed to go, and it got hijacked. The United States got hijacked. So maybe there's a potential for ways that I think, you know, that are people that do the thing that's best for the group and not for just myself, that has a history of doing that. Maybe I'll be a candidate one day. Maybe I'll run one day. Evidently, Mom's dad was a mayor in a city in New Mexico at some point. Isn't that true, Ma? I gotta find out. I just don't know which. I've said Silver City before, and you said that's rung a bell.
Yeah.
But they could have just visited Silver City, when she was 6 or 7. So I'd have to go back in the history books to figure out where. But my whole life I heard that story, and which adds up because his father, Robert Lee Yoakum. Robert, his son, he was the man that adopted Mom. And Robert's dad, Robert Lee Yoakum, was a prominent businessman, one of the first businessmen. He had a grocery store or something like that in Portales, New Mexico. So as far as history, it's in the family. I mean, even if it's by adoption, it's got to count for something. So, and I got my military experience, and I got the fact that I've been freaking going. I got to message. I saw the lady 2 years ago. This is a good story, and then maybe I'll wrap it up on this. How we got the last place, since that chapter is over, is we were in Salem. There's fires everywhere. I was trying to find a place in California to get closer to Mom's granddaughter, my niece, who lives outside of Sacramento. I couldn't find a place to live anywhere. It was like crickets every time I put stuff out on social media. I was making declarations and chats on YouTube. And this woman said in the chat, I know someone who has a trailer in Taos, New Mexico. And I was like, man, Taos is a long way from Salem, Oregon. Right? Although a woman in the interim sent me an email, said, I watched your videos and your plea. We have a situation that might be ideal for both of us. We're in Flagstaff, Arizona. Come this way. And I was like, all right, cool, sweet, right? All the while, the truck is starting to act funny. So I was determined, right as the truck is, I figured out right as the truck is, starting with the trailer attached to it to pull out of Salem, Oregon to go to Flagstaff, Arizona. I'm like, crap, the computer's going. It's the computer. I hate freaking what they did to electronics, cars, automotive engineering. I hate electric vehicles. They're gadgets, they're toys, they're pretentious freaking. Look what I got. I drive an EV. Those people aren't even human beings to me. They're completely plastic. And the ones that drive the big trucks that are EVs too. They're not even I don't live in that same world. I don't want to live in that world. I don't want nothing to do with that shit. It's all fucking nonsense, and there's too many people that need shit. And too many other people, they're spending their money on their self-will because of what they deserve, and then there's no service, and then Satan wins. That's how Satan wins. That is how Satan wins. Just buy whatever you want, when you want. Don't think about anybody else. Oh yeah, walk by that guy on the sidewalk, give him $100. And don't give a shit about what he does with it. More people should be doing shit like that. We're the good. I'm not going to. I could go around doing videos about how I do that, but there's just more of that stuff. People should know how to. That's what it is to be of service as a human being on this planet. Is just taking care of whatever it is around you that needs to be taken care of. So the story, okay, so in the chat, so we ended up in Flagstaff, and we're there for 5 weeks? God, it felt like it was hell. It felt like an eternity. After we were there a week, it was determined that wasn't a good. And then, because I had to drive 27 hours without turning the truck off. So outside of Klamath Falls, in Klamath Falls, I got pulled over, and then he escorted me back to the Walmart. So I could, and so I tried to sleep for like an hour. I was too pumped up. I had 4 dogs and a cat in the truck. You know, Mom was with brother. He came up and got her. So at least she got to see her granddaughter that weekend. I didn't get to see, because I didn't go down through Sacramento. I went out Reno way, Nevada way, and so going up, oh my God, the truck was dying. So pretty much the truck died, got us there. It was like it was our Oregon vessel, Ma, because my Nebraska vessel got repoed. Frickin' dirty Jesuits. Frickin' more money in God, and I got $1,600 left, and they come and take it. And I called the guy every month, you know. I had it all vacuumed, cleaned out. I mean, I was ready for the repo, man. So, anyway. So that was the Nebraska vessel leaving, and then we got the red truck, and we had it for Oregon, and then it died in Arizona, and now we got and then in Arizona, God blessed us with an earth angel, and I was able to buy the blue van, the Dodge Cavalier, or whatever that is, and it was enough to comfortably vessel us, safe passage. Oh wait, that's what happened. Is when we were in Arizona, we were there about a week, and I was like, oh crap, I'm in hell. Her dog bit me. Her daughter was a freaking. She would like take these like 2-hour baths. I don't understand what people do. I don't like. I just think what I can't just sit in a tub. And what you got to keep adding hot water and I don't understand how someone for out. I don't understand anyway. And then so Mom would have to be like, I gotta pee, and it was always such a thing. It was hell. That was like clearing up some freaking serious karma. I don't know what the fuck karma. That's where I learned to just like shut my mouth, you know, because God, she threatened to. She's like, if it wasn't for your mom, I'd put you on the street. And she had so much joy in it, and so. We were all shut up in the bedroom during the day there, and I put out on YouTube again declarations, in chats. It was Marge astrology chat, and I was like, me and Mom really need a place. And this woman said, I know a woman who has a trailer in Taos, New Mexico. And I said, and I put my email. I think in the chat or something like that. And then she emailed me and then put me in contact with the woman. And the woman was like, it was like her ex-husband. She lived in the trailer. She bought the trailer. She was married to the man and had like a life in the trailer. And then it got ugly, and then she left him. Because, like all the other little dudes around here, they are all mad about shit and fucking drink and do drugs and shit. And, said it talking about their feelings. And so, he had a heart attack and she, like, had to she found him. And they were, like, estranged. And she still found him and had to bust in the window and call the paramedics, and then went to the hospital, and then he died like 3 days later. And well, her son was in prison when all this happened. So she had to find, she's still like, was trying to keep the trailer for her son when he got out, so she needed someone to rent it, and she rented it to her cousin or third cousin, or that's why they don't rent to family around here, is because the families just stop paying, and then they squat, and then bills back up, and it's a bad situation. So that's what happened there. And she had to bring the sheriff in to evict them and empty all their crap out, and And then here comes Marge, you know? And I gave her, you know, first, last, freaking few $100 security deposit. She's never rented anybody more. She does not do, you know, she's not, she doesn't know what she's doing. I'm not trying to take advantage, you know, I'm trying to be fair and stuff like that. And when we moved in, there are these out. She's like, "Oh, if you could feed the cats outside," and then it turned into, "I'll you know, well, no." It started out with, "I'll bring a bag every other, you know, we'll take turns buying the cat food." She never once brought a bag of cat food. Never once in the almost 2 years we lived there. And so now her son gets out on the 6th. Hey, Maud. Hey, Nate. And I can't make this stuff up. So this whole, I've talked about it in videos for the last 2 years, this whole cat thing. It's because, like, I'll come home and there's a dead cat and I got to bury a cat. It's just been very stressful on me as an empath, what it does to my freaking energy. I mean, it's been a constant heartbreak. You know, it's been hard for me. Right, and then leaving them, and I'm in a good place with it now and everything. You know, it was my time. You know, wherever I am, I just try to take care of things, right? And so now Junior's getting out, and so now the 5 cats that I started feeding, they turned into, I don't know, I counted 17. She said 35, but she's a she drinks a lot too, so I'm like, dude, she's fucking seeing double or counting the same ones over and over or something. But there ain't no way that's crazy. But 17's a lot of cats too. But a lot of them are the neighbors. A lot of them like live in trailers next door. They just come over because she feeds them. But there's the cats, like the core group. There's probably 8 or 9. But the fact is out there where I live, they're just part of the food chain. And there's a lot of things with longer legs that they can't outrun. And so a lot of times, you know, I mean, it's a high turnover. And so last correspondence I heard from her, she was chewing me about it was my fault. How could I let all those cats get out of hand? And I sent her a screenshot of where she said that she would help me to take them to get them fixed. Right? Because she couldn't keep a job. She was always in between jobs. She doesn't have a job now. So, so she had nothing but time. She could have. And I was willing to cooperate with her to get for the last 2 years, and it was not important to her. And now I get these nasty grams about how she's going to shoot him, and I can go ahead and call animal control if I want. I said, leave me alone. I said, do what you got to do. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. She always talked to me, and she'd say stuff like, don't freak out about it. You know, like she wanted to bring in a new refrigerator that somebody was giving her. I don't know, some New Mexico deal bargain, and she gave me like a day, right? And I was like, shit. At the time, I since got her cremated, but at the time Sassy was in a little box in the freezer because I didn't want to bury her outside, because I didn't want nothing to dig her up, because I didn't want that trauma, because that had happened before. So so at the vet place they do cremation, so she's right there. But at the time, it was, you know, that's how I learn, is because stuff has happened to me, that I've witnessed stuff that I know. I never experienced anything like that. I knew that there was like farm cats and outdoor cats, but I never like witnessed it, like the turnover and you know, and they're so inbred and stuff, and they get sickly and stuff. But I was really tired of this woman. Just like, she'd be cool, and then I guess cocktail lady would kick in or whatever, and I'd just get these nasty grams, and I don't talk to people the way that people talk to me, and I don't like it. you know, and I've had to just kind of deal with it. And I had to just eat $1,200 because I didn't get to live in the place the last month because she's like, get out quick, you know, I got to get out as quick as I can. I still am paying for internet over there too. I left a washer over there. I cleaned it up pretty cool, except for the living room. And I got lazy with the kitchen too. But I did all right. But I did a lot better than when I left Oregon. But I also paid like $500 to have somebody go and... That was stupid too. But so we get out, you know, and then it's my fault that there's all these cats. After she had me, I never what and then blames me. It's just people are just it cracks me up how nutty people are. It just cracks me up. So yeah, I hope the block holds because I block people before. Well, I guess I never really have blocked people. I've never really had a reason to block people because usually people don't want to hear from me, so I'll say a thing or two and no response, and then I'll leave them alone. Some people I've had some gals like Ma. Well, sometimes she'll respond too, but there's a few people I'll just have a one-sided conversation with. Mostly, I'll just pop into their instant. I know them, but I don't know. They're busy in life, live in other places, But that Afghan that's sitting around you, that's on your shoulders, that came from Jessie Zaboter. She's a internet presence. She's a chaplain that witnessed a lot of grossness in life and tells her accounts of the stories and things like that from her interpretations on how she sees things. I lost a lot of respect for that Thomas guy today. That Thomas Sheridan. He was talking shit. I don't know. It was weird. Like, I don't know how... I mean, I could understand how I identified with what he was talking about, but he was talking about the marijuana today that is like green crack. And he was just like talking all this shit about weed and stuff. And I'm just... But he's a drinker. And I got a lot of shit to say about... I ain't never been falling down freaking stoned in my life. I don't care about whatever percent flower I smoke or whatever. I never been falling down. I never woke up the next day and said, oh my God, what did I say? That I never had that sense of incomprehensible demoralization. You know, what did I say? What did I do? I got you, bud. You want down? You know, but the things that I did on booze didn't make me do it. Booze never made me drive drunk. I always free willingly did that. Booze allowed me to live in my ego. That's what booze did. Is it took my spirit. That's what booze does. It takes oxygen from your blood. That is the only thing that makes us different, animated in life. And that animates us in life is the oxygen that we breathe in conjunction with our electricity, our heartbeat, our spark. But our breath feeds it all. And you replace that with alcohol, the spirits, the demons, the wickedness. And there's a lot of happy drunks. I get that. There's a lot of people that just have a few. It's an evolution. It evolves. I was cracking the lady up at the grocery at the convenience store today, the travel center, up from the casino, where I get these. So this is the only place that sells them in town. They had this pickle salt, and I went on a little tangent about pickles. I like to say pickles. I've been in pickles. In circles of groups of friends I used to hang out with when I was a drunk, it's common that you'd say, or recovery, that once you're a cucumber and you become a pickle, you can never go back to being a cucumber ever again. So there's a point of no return with booze, you know. I didn't get to the point I got to. I just started getting the shakes. Like I drank so much the night before. I just started, and I was like 20. So 2002. So I was 28. I was 28 when I got sober. So, and then I got a DUI before that, like 7 months before, and I still didn't figure it out yet. That's what you drank. Ego kicks in. I used to do all the stuff. I would do the things like say, I'm only gonna have 3 of these tall boys, 3 of these like Bud Light. I drink like a white boy, frat boy. But I drank a lot. And then I like whiskey too. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm a freaking pig. I drink whatever. There's stuff that I wouldn't like though. But I said, okay, I would say, oh, I'm only gonna drink 3, and I wouldn't even be through the first one. And I'm already going through the narrative that I can drink as much as I want because I'm an adult. I was in the Air Force too. I lived in the dorms. See, that was my college experience. Is living in the dorms in the military. And it was just as obnoxious as living in the dorms on a college university. And I know that because I worked on a college university. I worked at Creighton, and the kids would come in, just all hungover and stuff like that. And so just having experiences in life, we just have them at different periods, at different ages, with different perspectives. It's kind of cool. But I did cuts because he works at a ski at Don, because it was always Donner. It's Donner Ski Ranch. I get it, or whatever. But it was always Donner because the freaking D-bags, the rich guys, the assholes, they would freaking, you'd hear them talking about it Thursday, Friday, and then they'd come, Monday, Tuesday, you'd hear, or they'd have their tags. That's what it was. They all had their tags on their jackets, because their family took them to Tahoe, and they went to Donner, or they went to Sugar Bowl, or and then the ones where the kids, the guys were the parents were the doctors and lawyers, and like owned Reading, kind of thing. That was like, we would hang out, party all night, and then like they'd get dropped off at the airport at like 5 o'clock in the morning to fly out to Vail and stuff like that, to Colorado and stuff like that. And now I live in a ski, and I don't ski, and he helps me have a different perspective, because I look at it as the resource that is of all it's so much resources for such a small percentage of the population, and there's all the other things that need to be taken care of first, because there's so much poverty around here. If they put they put as much effort to helping fixing up old people's rundown shit in the community, but bureaucracy is just created for that, to feed that system. But anyway, I'm done talking. I've been running my mouth over an hour because that light went out, and I think it has like an hour timer. I was so sad. I went to get LED lights today. I don't even know how much they cost, and I made the mistake of just not taking the receipt, and I opened it up. It was a 10-foot strand of LED lights that were supposed to do a lot of really cool shit. When I got my bookcase, I was going to put it on like the underside of the shelves, but they were cheap. I don't know how cheap, but they were crappy. See, why don't they make that? That's the stuff that they need to make here in the United States. Stop freaking getting crap that says made in China, man. It's ruining shit. So, but I took it out, and it was about maybe 18 inches, and then it was cut. It was like, it was separated from the rest of the strip. And when I plugged it in to charge it, it did illuminate blue. And then after I charged it for several hours, I left it and just, walked away. I tried to, with the remote control, and it never worked. So I can't take it back. And it was Mary. I was a training opportunity. She was training a gal. So, but I didn't have the receipt, so that's my own fault. When I buy electronic shit like that, because I like to buy gadgets and things like that. And it was, and the adhesion part, I was going to put it around here, but it wasn't sticky enough. It wasn't, so I'm going to look around, see if I can't find something comparable. But I grew up in the 70s, 80s. I used to space out looking inside a light bright. And I'd imagine what it would be like to grow up and live inside a light bright. So now we live inside a light bright, huh, Ma? Mom likes it too. Anyway. Every day we're grateful around here. Mom's reminded me of gratitude. I'm not grateful in every moment of every day. Let's not get it mistaken. I am surly. Sometimes. Yep. I get really angry about stuff. And I see more and more people that don't have emotional control. And I see how they don't have positive outlets for their anger and their frustrations. And I hope for this, that more and more people start figuring out that it's important that they figure out where their center is. Because it's just going to be more carnage, man. It just is. It's just going to get nutty. More and more nutty. And it's exhausting. Just like, I don't dip into like headlines very often. When I do, it's a lot of gross stuff. A lot of people hurting people. A lot of hurt people hurting people. And doesn't need to be that way. We could have heaven on earth, man. We're the custodians of the earth. But I think a lot of it is people are given ideas about how they think that things need to be. Is that Stan Lee? I think so. And then he just took off running. And then the world don't add up that way. So they're throwing tantrums and they're acting out. You can't do that. So, anyway. It's about all I got for now. Hope I'll be back on tomorrow. I'm gonna make garlic cheesy mashed potatoes and roast some asparagus and some broccoli with Parmesan and roasted potatoes and meatloaf. That's what we're doing tomorrow on Thankstaking, because history is a lie and people need to stop glorifying a bunch of bullshit. They really do. I mean, all the rituals, I look at it, it's all rituals, it's all people are, gonna pig out, I mean, just how many years did I pass out before the frickin', that's Super Bowl too, before halftime. But just the day's wasted. The spirit's gone. Spirit's taking people. All this stuff that, because it's going to get weird too. I'll talk about that later. It's what I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.